Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Monday from everyone here at Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. The Cubs finished their series with the Milwaukee Brewers, winning the series once again. We've learned a few things, like PCA is becoming a superstar right before our very eyes. I have looked into some players on some lesser teams that have been performing so far, and curious to see if maybe the Cubs could trade for them. I have our first trade target potentially here in Cubs Daily. And then last but not least, let's preview those San Francisco Giants coming to town. But before we get into all that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all having a fantastic start to your week. I appreciate you guys for liking the videos, subscribing to the channel, and commenting down below. What are your thoughts on how we can upgrade this bullpen? Who should we go and target? I have an idea in mind, and I'm going to get to that in the video, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Please, feel free to comment. Let's get into it. So, the Cubs do drop the finale 4-0, but they do win the series, ladies and gentlemen, which, again, that is the most important part. Taking 2 of 3, stacking 2 of 3 will always add up over time. The game yesterday was a really, really good game, too. It was 0-0 in the 6th, and then, unfortunately, on that ground ball, Shota was sprinting, and I believe his leg cramped up, and they did have to pull from the game, and then that's when, let's just say it like this, the fatal flaw of this team came in, and they let up 4 runs, and honestly, it just wasn't the offense's day. There's just no way that the Cubs offense is that sustainable. I love the offense. I think it's that good potentially, but there's just no way you're going to score 5 to 7 runs every single game. Some days you're going to get got, and honestly, they got yesterday. Freddie Peralta, by the way, I didn't even know this, has one of the lowest opponent batting averages in MLB history, alongside some of the best pitchers of all time. So, good on Freddie Peralta. Good victory for the Brewers yesterday to get back on track to kind of, even the keel at this. But the Cubs do win the series after dominating Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, unfortunately, they did lose Shota to that cramping. Hopefully it's just a cramping. It's not like a hamstring or anything. But they had to pull him. Bullpen came in. And unfortunately, they gave him 4 runs with 2 outs, which is wild to think about. But the best part about this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, is that we did learn a few things, okay? We learned that this team is still really good. We learned that Kyle Tucker is always going to be the man. But, one of the things I was asking about is, do we need another superstar bat? Like another boom guy? I don't think so. Not anymore. I think we're learning that Crow-Armstrong is going to be him. He's going to be that major bat this team needs. He's the complete 5-tool player, ladies and gentlemen. He's got power. He can hit the ball. He can field. He can steal the whole 9 yards. He is just a complete basketball player or baseball player. He's got the arm strength too. The other day he made a throw home on a pop out and a sacrifice fly attempt. The guy was safe technically, but the fact that he even made it a play, that is what's truly impressive about Pete Crow-Armstrong. He hit 3 more home runs over the weekend, including the big-time go-ahead shot on Saturday to put them up 4-1 and to put them up for good. So, PCA, man, has been absolutely incredible. It's a tale of 2 halves with this guy, right? The first 17 games, you're like, this isn't good. This isn't good. But let's check out these last 17 games, ladies and gentlemen. He's been absolutely unconscious. Slugging, his OPS is well over 1,200. He's got 9 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He's hitting .343, and to make it better, ladies and gentlemen, he's got 6 stolen bases as well. So that's the thing about Pete Crow that is so electric, ladies and gentlemen, is that, let's say he even gets on with a single, right? Or he draws a walk. Odds are is he's going to steal second base and be right there in scoring position, where generally speaking, unless it's a hard hit single to an outfielder, he's scoring. He's going to score no matter what. And yeah, yesterday he actually got thrown out. But did you guys have to see the throw that was made for him to be thrown out? It had to be perfect every time. And it's not going to be perfect every time. They're going to get him sometimes because these are professional baseball players. But it's not going to be perfect every time. And generally speaking, Pete Crow is going to steal a bunch of bases. So, PCA, man, I am so excited to continue to watch him grow, watch him learn. Every single at bat, he's learning more and more about how to be a major leaguer. and he's figuring it out, which is incredible to watch. I'm hoping that trend does continue tonight against the Giants. We'll get to all that here in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. But before that, let's talk some trade rumors. It's May. Probably nothing major is gonna happen during May, but because this is like separating season in a sense. This is where if you have a bad month here entering June, you're like, okay, we need to start considering some trade guys, some trade pieces. How do we supplement the future of this team? Well, I'm going to start here with my first target. I think this guy should be available. The Twins that he's on, they're not that good record-wise. I think they're like 4 or 5 games below 500. But again, they're playing in the same division as the Tigers, the Royals, and the Guardians. So I don't think catching any of those teams is going to be relatively possible, especially when your offense has just been anemic over the past few years. So could the Cubs go out and get Jhoan Duran? Jhoan Duran, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with his game, he throws 102, and he's got a wicked off-speed slider. He's been absolutely incredible this year in his opportunities to save games for the Twins. But again, I don't know how high leverage those situations are. Either way, he throws 102. I'll take that on my team any day of the year. He's got another year of arb control under his belt, so the Cubs would at least get him for a year and a half. Now, the question is, what does that cost? What does that cost the Cubs? I don't think the Cubs are going to mortgage the future for a guy like this, but I think the Cubs have enough young offensive pieces in their minor leagues to offer the Twins something satiating enough, right? The Twins need help, okay? The Twins just need help across the board. They'll take any potential offensive bat that will go out their way. Carlos Correa is a stud, and I know Royce Lewis is a stud too, but Royce Lewis is always hurt, unfortunately. So if the Cubs have a young second baseman, a young outfielder to offer them, I think they got to be on the table, right? Like a Christian Hernandez type, or, who else am I thinking of? Like James Triantos, those young infielders who just might not make it to our team, unfortunately, just because, we have Dansby, Nico, Matt Shaw's going to get the look there. Michael Busch is solidifying himself as our first baseman on a daily basis. So Jhoan Duran should be attainable. It just depends on what the Twins want to get. And I think the Cubs do have enough young offensive sticks down in the minors to really make something happen for him. And I really think that would really kind of like knock the dominoes in place, I would say. Like, here's the deal. When you have expectations of someone, right? Like Ryan Presley, for example. Ryan Presley is a pretty solid closer. He hasn't been that solid for us, but when he's expected to be the closer, there's more likely performances that are not going to be pretty. Now, when you bump him down to the setup man or the seventh man and his expectations lower, his performance could rise even higher. So if we get Duran, then we put Presley and Hodges, that closes the 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's pretty solid. And if we have to just use the bullpen for 1 or 2 innings, that minimizes the potential damage that it could cause us, since our starting pitching has been absolutely incredible. So, not sure where the Cubs lie in the actual Jhoan Duran sweepstakes. I'm interested, though, and I think we should go after him. He's a deadly closer with wicked stuff, and I think the Cubs have the stuff to go and get him. But last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, let's preview this Giants series tonight, right? Giants coming on home to Wrigley, 6:40 start time. We got our man Matthew Boyd on the bump. Matthew Boyd has been nothing but solid for this ball club, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible start from him. What a signing by Jed and Co. But it's going to be Matthew Boyd versus Roop, who's 2-2 with a 5.10 ERA. I'll say this. These are the games, right, where it's like, oh, this is an easy matchup for the Cubs. This is the matchup that throws the Cubs off. Remember last week versus Melansky? Dude had a 6 ERA, and we still couldn't find a way to beat him. Such a weird game, but either way, the Cubs have the nice advantage tonight. They're at home. They should be able to get the party rocking and rolling against those Giants. Again, the Giants are 22-13. They're technically 1 game ahead of the Cubs in terms of record, but this is another fantastic test for the Cubs, right? We just thought we were getting done with it, but there's always going to be good teams to play in baseball, and this is another excellent opportunity for the Cubs to take another series and expand their record even more. So that's going to do it for Cubs Daily, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment about Jhoan Duran, or if there's another closer you think we should target. Again, I'll give a preview on Mason Miller. I'll see if Emmanuel Clase. I'll talk about all those guys here down the road. The Guardians are 20-14, so I don't know if they're going to want to get rid of Clase. But we'll talk more about trade perspective pieces here going down the road on Cubs Daily. I hope you all have a fantastic start to your week. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.